he's Big Bear. Going down the road, got the fellas on the back, checking on his fingers and a bud six-pack, drinking in the morning, little hair of the dog. He's sweet as a bird, but it smells like a hog. Big Bear, he's iron tough. Big Bear's got a chest like a rug. Big Bear, he don't take no guff. He's Big Bear. Looking in the mirror, now they're coming from behind. Big Bear's got a buddy that they're never gonna find. 420 block, gonna take him out of sight. Never gonna catch you, and you never have to fight. Big Bear, he's iron tough. Big Bear's got a chest like a rug. Big Bear, he don't take no guff. He's Big Bear. Oh, Big Bear. Big Bear. Big Bear. Big Bear. Big Bear. Big Bear. Oh, Big Bear, he's iron tough. Big Bear's got a chest like a rug. Big Bear, he don't take no guff. He's Big Bear.
What up, nerds? I'm back on my death knight. It's time to bring back the commentary. Let's do this. Alright, so first we got a mage rogue in rated 1v2. What I want to do here is get on this mage and try to build up enough runic power and get a gargoyle on him before the rogue opens. So I'm just LOSing him constantly. Put down a D&D here, see if I can deter the rogue a little bit. And then stay close to LOS so when the mage pops out he doesn't have a free line of sight on you if the rogue opens at you at the same time. So I stick my pet back on him and then I keep putting chains out, trying to build up runic power. I'm also not going to want to go in unless I have Icebound Fort up so the rogue can't open on me. So I throw out Icebound Fort, get an AMS, and then I get on the mage. Misses his Nova because my AMS, I get enough RP for the gargoyle, get that up, keep him in chains. And then I just look for a good spot to let the rogue open on me so that the mage can't open as well. So I'm going to instantly trinket the kidney shot. And then you gotta switch to the rogue here because you're not going to kill a mage. So I switch to rogue, get a ghoul explode on him, it hits both targets. He shits his pants, runs away crying. He's going to go bandage up. Try to put my gargoyle on him to keep him in combat, but he's running away. So it's just me and the mage for a bit. I just gotta live through this mage. He misses Nova, he blinks away. I'm starting to Lichborn heal myself while I'm getting this kill here. So mage is down, now it's time to get D&D down, get in Frost Presence, Lichborn heal myself up, and then check all my cooldowns. So I get Bone Shield back up, get my pet back up, get a fresh Horn of Winter to build up some RP. Bandage is on cooldown, mount up, and I'm gonna go get the eye now. Take a shit on a rogue. So apparently I'm blind here. I didn't see this rogue at all. I'm just a bad player. So I dismount, send the pet in to get him in combat. Now he evasions instantly, so I can't use my gnaw on him. I'll get AMS up to stop his damage. See, I immune a lot of magic damage there through his kidney. And then he's got evasion up, so I can't use gnaw, so I'm gonna do everything I can to kite him. He vanishes, get D&D'd out quick, see if I can get him out. I don't get him, gets a cheap shot. Evasion's down, so I put the gnaw on him. And then I try to get diseases up so I can do some death strike healing. There's the pet sack. And I'm just going to keep death striking and popping out death coils as well until I take him out. Not too bad, not too bad. Alright, so now we got a Protret and a Boomkin. Both of these are pretty strong classes, especially Protret. They're going to be a big pain for a DK. So what I'm going to try to do is get in there, keep him away from me, get chains up on him, get my pet on him. And then I'm going to try to build up enough runic power to get an Icebound Fort up so that he can't open with his HOJ. Because every pally opens with a Hodge, so throw up the Icebound Fort. Here I immune his stun. And then I try to spread diseases to Druid to make a switch. Get diseases on Druid, make my switch. I get knocked off. And then he instantly bops him. So I got a Starfall coming in, so I got to AMS that. So I'm already at half. So I need to Lichborn heal myself up. Thank God for AMS giving me RP. Catch the Druid in the heal, put Strangulate on him. Then I get my Buffalo all up mean on his ass. End up getting killed. Pally goes for a heal too late. Man down. So now I got Garg up. Things are looking good right here. I take a risk and I go for the pet explode to try to kill him before he bubbles. But his last stand thing saves his ass. So there's the ghoul explode. There's the last stand. There's the bubble. So Now things aren't looking good at all. I'm out of cooldowns. All I got is Trinket right now. I got my magic immunities up, so I jump his stun here, keep a little distance from him, and then I need to kite through the rest of that bubble, and then try to kite through freedom, but he's gonna catch me. So now I'm super low. I'm fucked here. So I get the magic immunities up, and I'm looking at my pet sack right now. I need to just last a little longer than that. I got full diseases. I go for some death strikes. He parries the first one, parries the second one, and I finally get one in, and then my pet sack's up. So there's 15k off of one death strike and my pet sack. So that's basically everything I got. So now I just need to keep pumping out death strikes, build up RP. So I get enough RP, and his snare drops, so I run while I dump 3 death coils into him and end up getting the kill. So very close match. So now we've got another mage rogue, and we saw how on the last map I kind of controlled the opener. This one I completely fail on the opener. I'm actually looking the wrong way here. I think my wife was bugging me or something. But so yeah, I'm looking the wrong way, so I get sapped. So you can't get a worse opener than this. So there's the sap. Mage goes to the pillar. He's looking for my friend. I don't think he's gonna find my partner there. Rogue opens on me. Again, I'm gonna trinket the kidney shot. As soon as it comes in, trinket it. Evasions, cloaks, gets away. And then I'm keeping an eye on this mage here because I gotta stop this frostbolt. So I gotta focus, strangulate on that one. Full strangulate. Then I'm just keeping an eye on that mage as my focus. Frostbolts are starting to come in again while I'm killing this rogue. I grip a frostbolt here. And then he blinks away, and I end up getting a kill on the rogue. So now I'm at almost no HP. Mage is at full, so I need to get to some LOS. I have to pet sack here. So I'm in big trouble. I need to sit in my immunity there because I would probably not made it to the LOS before eating a frostbolt. So I'm gonna bandage here and then gonna open with the Icebound Fort to avoid his deep freeze, and then just get on him. See if I can land a kill. Try to get a death strikes in there as well. So I do get a death strike there. I got a grip for his blink. His blink bugs out, but he was gonna die anyway. So good comeback. These guys are a little undergeared compared to the other mage rogue. Still a good fight. Still a good fight. So here's some PhD matchups. This one's actually a mirror. This is against a team that's sponsored. Alice, Biotox, and JS. So they'll be at the next MLG. And I'm playing with the Hobbs and Unums. So like we want to do, we want to be on hunters, but usually in these matchups you have to start on DKs because good DKs will just put chains on each other and then you can't make it to the hunter yet. So and we dictate the position here, so we actually want to pull back and stretch them a little bit, which is what we're talking about in Skype. So we open hard on the DK, and then we're going to start pulling back just to stretch them out. We end up catching the pet a little bit low, throw chains on everything you can just to force the pally to use globals on dispels. And the hunter's pet actually gives them a lot of utility, so when you kill that it's a very good step up for your team. So now we're back on the hunter. So right here we get on hunter hard, and I put a strangulate on the pally about the instant that he gets a big holy shock off, so it tops the hunter off. So again, it's just switching a lot, keeping pressure high, so it's back on the DK when we can't be on hunter together. Do some peeling here. I just want to keep damage high, keep pressure high. I drop my zone here. He's got his Garg up, and so we're going to call a switch. We got to make something happen with that pally, so we switch to the hunter here. Get him pretty low, and then grip the pally, and I tell Unum to go scatter, so Unum flies over, scatters him. And now we know we need to pressure this pally more, so we make a hard switch on him. We go readiness, double Chimera shot, and we get a kill on him. So it's all about keeping up more pressure than the other team, and keeping good positioning. Killing that hunter's pet, very helpful. And then here's a fun fact. Take a look at that, and that's without me using my gargoyle. So it's kind of the pressure you want to keep. So here's a mage, shadow priest, druid. It's Noxon and Innate. Innate's a great druid, really smart player. So here we want to open on mage all the time as PhD. You just shit on mages. So we all get over to the mage, we all eat a fear together, which is definitely not good. Now I eat a full cyclone. Now pause it here, but this match is not fancy. My play, I don't do anything spectacular, just play smart, and we keep good positioning, and that's like the most important thing half the time. So Here I eat a full cyclone. I notice my teammates both got feared into good spots, so I'm not going to trinket this. Just going to sit it out and we'll be fine, and then regain good positioning and then stay on this mage. So it's back on mage. Let me pause this here. Now we assume our one of our most popular positioning. It's top secret position number 12. It's used very often. It's the hunter sandwich. You can see Big Papa's here by the stairs with everyone bunched up around him. Pally's by the boxes and Hunter's in the middle of us. So this is another perfect position. We already went over the top secret triangle position, but here's the hunter sandwich, also very popular. So we're sticking on mage. We got to interrupt chain into this druid. We got a silence used on him, so I know that my strangulate's not used yet, but it's not going to be a full 5-second strangulate. So I'm going to use it as an interrupt. So once that mage blinks against a team like this, you can grip him back in. Keep pressure high. So here comes a cyclone out of the druid. Again, I get the interrupt on the cyclone with my strangulate, and then we're going to definitely force a block here. So I get the block, and then I'm on the druid to try to interrupt any nourishes. He cyclones me again, and here you can see, let me pause it, that I need a full 5-second cyclone, but look at my teammates. They're in perfect positioning. No one's in trouble. I can see the priest isn't about to drop a big fear, and then additionally, any good druid is going to cast that first cyclone and immediately cast the second one. So if you trinket that 5-second cyclone, you're just going to sit in a 2.5-second cyclone. So you need to just play smart and save your trinket. Don't just use it just for the hell of it because you ate a long CC. Use it smartly. So you can see the druid went for the second cast. I didn't trinket, I just ate it because our positioning is so solid. So it's back on the mage, of course. Priest goes in for a fear. It's fine, we keep good positioning, and we get a silent shot interrupt on the druid, and then the damage is just too much. So we kill the mage before his before he can get a second block timer up. So again, nothing fancy on this fight. It's just smart play. So and that's the most important thing sometimes. Alright, here's a warrior Ellie Shaman Pally. This can be a pretty tough fight for PHTK. We found the best way to win is to get good switches onto the Pally, force a bubble with one, and then get a kill with another. You want to keep cleansing totem down because it affects both your diseases and your hunter's damage, so you want to keep stopping those totems and just switch from warrior to Ellie when you're not on Pally. So we're going to start on Ellie here. We want to start. We'll stomp a cleansing totem, and there's an AoE sack up, so we're going to switch to this Pally soon with our first switch. Get a switch on him. Get the ghoul explode going, or try to force a bubble here on this switch. We end up forcing the bubble, then we're back on the Ellie to slow some damage. So now I don't have a pet now, so I will icy touch cleansing totems when I don't have a pet up. So we're sticking on Ellie, blowing defensive cooldowns, just to make sure the pressure's there, and then we just keep track of we're talking in Skype this whole time to figure out cooldowns used and setting up our next switch. So I told him to wait until my pet's back up so I can do another ghoul explode. So we're just holding off. Here's the icy touch on the totem. It's always good to keep those down because it helps both your damage, especially on a big switch. You want that down so you don't get some bad RNG. So I'm calling the switch here. We're getting ready to go Pally. Pull him out in a really bad spot, and then here comes the gnaw into the ghoul explode. And then I instantly trinket a warrior fear here, and then I interrupt that cast. So he's running now. Interrupt that cast right into a strangulate, so he's in big trouble. Especially with a hunter able to just open up on him too. So we end up getting the kill there, which is perfect. But this comp can give you trouble, that's for sure. They're pretty mean sometimes. Alright, here we got a TSG. You should never really lose to this comp. If your hunter and Pally can play alright together, all you gotta do is kite the two melee through the traps and not be retards. Basically watch for freedoms and then switch on their Pally with a grip. So we open, he freedoms real early, call the switch immediately, get on Pally. Right into a ghoul explode. Force an instant bubble basically. So after he's gone, bubble's used, and I just peel for hunter. Get chains on both of them, and we're just smoking them here. Again, this fight's really easy. When you get bunched up like this, you want to get spread back out. Use that frost trap. kite the double melee through that. So we call for better positioning. We switch over. Then we just get back on Pally without a grip, since he's right in the middle of the bridge. So we scare him away, make him jump off, and we don't follow. We just switch immediately. Especially when he's got to come back up and he's going to be in mind freeze range for an interrupt. So there he is, sitting right next to me. I'm just waiting for the mind freeze. Catch that heal, get that. Warrior D's up. May end up not being able to get a kill. Interrupt with a grip there, and then we just switch Pally. He's at half. Got a full silencing shot on him. Interrupt to flash, and he's dead. So Shadowmourne can't save you. Yeah, just watch for freedoms, pull that Pally in, get a kill, and just keep kiting the double melee. Collect points. Alright, now we got some wizards. We got Mage, Lock, and a Disc Priest. And on this map, when they're taking the boxes instead of the stairs as their default, you're going to bust into the Hunter sandwich, keep your Pally max range, keep your Hunter pretty far back as well, and then just hit whatever they give you. Obviously, number one priority is a Mage, because you just destroy them. But they're just going to keep having to run and hide behind those boxes because they can't get through you to get to your teammates. So start on Mage. We get a scatter trap here so I don't pestilence early. So we get the trinket forced. And then I'll go back here and put up in a magic shell so I don't get stuck back there in the slows or the Nova. So we'll keep pressuring Mage, force a block right away, get that penance, and then we get on the lock so that we can keep better positioning. So we can spread back out, have our Pally head back to the boxes. And then again, back on the Mage. He's going to have to go hide. Pestilence to his pets, put down a D&D, get all those pets down, and then just keep good positioning all the time and hit what they give you. So I try to stay in LOS with my Pally at all times. If something runs behind the box, I just switch to something else. Mage pets are gone. Priest is the only one out here. Put him into a gnaw. The gargoyle's already on him and everything, so we get a kill on him. Happens that fast. But yeah, if you just keep them crammed in there all game, you'll never have a problem with this. And just keep good positioning. That's it. Alright, here's more wizards. This time we got Ellie Shaman, Mage, Disc Priest on Blade's Edge. So you gotta, again, stay on Mage, mess him up, and then get on what you can. Usually you don't want to be on the Ellie Shaman too much. But Priest and Mage are both really good targets. And you don't want LOS here again. Your Pally, it'll really mess your Pally up, so I try to we stay in the open and get what we can. Again, D&D and Pestilence on his pets. It's a really good way to go. And I actually put my interrupts on the Shaman in the beginning here, since we're so far ahead. So stay on Mage. Mage plays close to pillars, so I get stuck in the root here, and we just call the switch to Priest. It's all we got. Switch Priest. I got 50 debuff, so I just trinket that sheep. Tell my Pally not to worry about heal or dispelling me. Get Garg up, and then I stay on Priest. Get him taken out. Ain't no thing. Alright, so now we're gonna show some TSG matches. And the way I used to play this was more like focus the healer, get some interrupts on him while we're on a DPS. I found that sometimes the best way to do it is just a really efficient rush down of their healer. I mean, against literally everything, you can just pick the healer and rush it down if you guys coordinate it well. We played a lot of games against the real TSG, and they're badasses with this comp, but that's what they do. They just rush down healers like bosses, and they do it real well. So most of these we don't do that. A couple times we do. So this one's a Hunter Lock Pally. We just go my old style and put some interrupts on the Pally while we sit on that Warlock and stop the UAs. It's a pretty easy win, but let's see what we got. So we'll get on the lock early. I'll put an early Strangulate, and we'll get out early pressure on the Warlock. So I'll put String It on the Pally when the Blade Storm's rolling. Finally get support down. I get grip on this next one. Get that. And then the Aura Mastery goes up. You can see the Warrior fears it since we got the Pally gripped in close. It worked perfectly. Blew his trinket. So it gets topped off now. And our pally, or you can see that our warrior is just tanking it up here. Sword and board, shield blocking. Going for pet kills is a good way to win as well. This map's a little weird when the bridges bug out the fucking pets, but go for a pet kill. Pally gets some big heals on it. She's an asshole. So we're back on the lock. Got gargoyle pumping damage. Grip that heal. Eat a fear, Lichborn it, and go for the focus interrupt. And he fakes it. Because he faked it, we get the kill on him. So this is just good interrupts on the pally. Warrior turtling up at good times. Usually it's a pretty easy win. But you can also just rush down the pally if you want. Just take a big dump on his chest if you feel like it. Alright, so this time we're going to check out that healer gibbing rush down shit. This is a good one just to show what you can do to a druid. And this is just, most of this damage is just me as well. So you can see, anytime you get a rogue, dismount early, get your pet going in on someone who can't invis. So if it's an RMP, send your pet in on the priest, not the mage, because sometimes the mage will invis right as the rogue saps you, because your pet will drop you from combat. When your pet loses target, it'll drop you from combat. So send it on something that's not going to invis. So put this on priest here, so I get in combat, I can't get sapped, and then we're going to get in and look for something. The D&D is never going to catch anything, but it's a good way to get some RP going. So Druid made a great decision. He decided to run out in the open and try to cyclone somebody. So we just get on him, and here's where we take a shit. You can see the warrior basically charges in, gets an MS up. That's about it. MS and a rend, and then he gets opened on, and he's stun locked this whole time. So Druid's at about, I don't know, 80%, something like that, and then it's just my damage from here on out. So I get on him, get diseases up, put him into a gnaw, into a ghoul explode. Hit the first 6350. Follow that up right with a strangulate, so he can't get any instants off. And then just pump some death coils and some scourge strikes. Where he gets in, gets a charge, and he's done. So that's how easy it can be. Corpse Explode's amazing. Corpse Explode right into a strangulate on druids is killer. So fun stuff. So here's one more druid switch. Here they bug this shit out, so I can't send my pet in on anybody, and I can't get a chains of ice, so I get sapped here. I could have dismounted early and targeted one of them and got a claw or leap to one of them and stayed in combat, but I didn't do that. So I eat the sap. Warrior's in a good position, or Pally's in a good position, so we don't have to worry too much about that priest getting a fear on him, and Rogue's even too far for a blind, so it wasn't too bad. So I eat the sap, and here I'm going to eat a full cyclone, and they're opening hard on Warrior, which is pretty standard. You can see he's zipping around like Sonic the Hedgehog. Got to slow on that Rogue, so he's fine. I don't need to trinket this, so I can save trinket for the blind later. So we've dicked around long enough. You can see the warrior sword and board the whole time, so we make a switch on this druid now that he's going for cyclones. So we get on him. Warrior's still been sword and board this whole time. He gets MS up. Keep spamming revenge on him. So I get on druid first thing, get full diseases up. And then I go another gnaw, ghoul explode. Hit him for a big amount, straight into the strangulate. So druid's low. Stay on him. Trinket the blind here. And we end up forcing the kill. Warrior didn't blade storm and was in sword and board the whole time, so you can see what kind of burst a DK can have when you use that ghoul explode and pump death coils. So another dead druid. I like seeing that. Here we are against an LSD, and this is the team that hit 3K on BG9 and the ones that qualified on TR. Surrounded some white shadows and company. So what we do on this is we try to just go crazy on the warlock in the opener. Blow a lot of cooldowns to see if we can take him down, and if not, our goal is to at least get a pet kill on him. So if we get through 2 pets, then the warlock usually dies and we win. So we get in and we get crazy on the lock. You'll see our first couple. I mean, we got blade storm going up real early. Get support that gets him out of some blade storm damage. We get an early strangulate on the druid, and then we get an early fear on the druid once warrior gets in range of him, and then I send pet over to get a gnaw. And the druid dodges it, which is beautiful. So anyway, we're still trying to pump damage. We forced the shaman to heal, so there's no damage coming out of him, which is good. So anyway, it's just back on the lock. We're getting blown cooldowns early, get Garg up early to help. And then I switch here to Druid, try to enforce a bark skin, but instead I get melted. I have to drop an AMZ. So I'm constantly watching my Magic Zone and Magic Shell, and when one of those are down against a comp like this, I'm going for line of sight. I'm going to try not to get out there. So catch that nourish with the grip, and then it's back on the Druid. Or I'm sorry, back on the lock. So I'm in a little bit of trouble here, so I have to pet sack. And then look at this, the fucker gets down to 1k. Die, you African, die. Nope, gets topped up. So it's back on him. We don't even have a pet kill yet. You know, if that shaman heal on my way through. And then it's just back on the lock. So things aren't looking too good. I'm getting melted regularly. So I'm going for some LOS so I don't have to blow shell yet. Icy touch a totem because my pet's down. Try to get some damage on the lock pet, and we still can't get it down. It's good healing, and they're watching it pretty well. So again, I'm hurting on cooldowns. I blew shell already. So I'm out here. I know I'm going to get switched on hard, and I need to get the hell out of here. So I tell my pal I need to get out, throw up Ice Mount Fort, go Frost Presence, and luckily I get a good fear pathing, which is nice. So now we eat a Cyclone, and they're going to try to kill our warrior. So the second we ate that Cyclone, we called the warrior to shield wall. He did. I stay here on Druid just so I can prevent the second Cyclone in the chain. He gets a bash off anyway. So we bunched up for that fear again, which is bad, but then they cycloned the warrior, so we get him topped off eventually. So here I am about to get shit on again because my magic communities are down. They're almost back up, so I'm screaming at my pally that they're coming back up, so barely get it off. So immunity's up, and then I pump death coils after it. And again, back on the lock. So here I eat a 9500 lava burst. My pally's in a fear without trinket or bubble. So this is bad. So we need to interrupt this damage, or else I'm a goner. So warrior gets a charge on the lock to stun him, and I put a strangulate on the chain lightning that would have killed me. So we lock down both of their DPS. Our pally's still in the fear. So I'm in there trying to death strike, trying to get some health up. So I get some death strikes, and we actually stop their damage for a few seconds, enough for me to get one last big holy shot crit in. So it was good play by warrior and I to just live through that shit. So then it's back on the lock. So we get on him hard. He's getting low, so he ports here, and they silenced me when he ported, so I couldn't grip him. And then we're getting on him. We finally do get the first pet kill here. So he gets a new one up. I get some LOS, so I stop getting melted by fucking Serranus. And then it's back on. We got a Blade Storm up, so we go for it. And I back up to grip him further away from his port, which didn't need to be done because he just ported. It's obviously on cooldown, but we do end up getting the second pet kill here. So now things are looking a lot better. So we're on lock. His port's finally up, and I go to grip it. And Serranus grounds it, so they coordinated that well. So he's going for a hard summon. We get an interrupt on it, and then I'm getting over to him as soon as I can. So now we're in a really good spot. We got him messed up without a pet nearby, or he can't get another pet up, so we just need to go crazy right here. Get Garg up again and just go big on damage, and we end up landing a kill. So it was a close one. You can die at any time. As a DK, you just gotta watch those magic communities. Get out when you don't have it. I mean, get some LOS when you don't have them to force them to switch, and then get back in there. And then when it really calls for it, you gotta death strike, heal yourself as much as possible. Just do everything to live, and you need good coordination with your warrior. But this is another matchup where you can just rush down that druid and get a kill in the opener. Kill him within 10 globals if you want. So here we are against an RMP. No, all of these TSG games are just one night of TR. We just threw the three of us together and played, so we don't have any crazy, amazing strats. But RMP again, you can rush down Priest and kill him still. Just try to get Hodge on that rogue without a trinket. But set focus to priest, and again send pet in on priest so you don't get sapped. Don't set it on mage. Focus on priest, and then they kind of dictate what your strat is in the opener because you want to see what they do. So let me slow it down here. You can see that the rogue here, I'm out of frost runes, but I see the rogue, so I pop him out with a blood boil, and we're going to try to just get on that priest and rush him down. So the second I pop that rogue out, I see him come at me, so they're going to switch to me, and he's probably just going to open with a stun, and so I jump off to force him to switch to somebody else. So I jump off, we're getting on this priest trying to force paints up, and then take a look at the mage and the rogue, and they're both heading for pally, so that's what they're going to go for. So I use my slash arena focus macro, change focus to rogue, put a chains on the rogue, and then I grip them down with us because they obviously want to switch to pally, and I just want to do whatever I can to fuck up their strat. So grip him down, he's very unhappy with me, and then we're just on this priest. You can see warrior again is sword and board a lot of this time, just keeping MS up, let me do my broken damage. And so he eats stun lock here, and then after this we call it, we're going to switch to this priest and take a big steamer on him. So, and here comes the rape. So I get out of my sheep, we get on him, I go gnaw into a ghoul explode, and then unfortunately this priest had some extra abilities that normal priests don't have. He seems to have a teleport ability, so he goes ahead and he blinks to the top of the stairs. So it was a pretty good move on his part. Good time to use your priest blink. So we get back on him. You can see that they keep trying to peel, just keep up good dispels, stay on that priest, pain subs down. So we just sit on him and drop a zone so your warrior can stay offensive, and then we get the blade storm going. Call warrior, I'm going to grip him back in here. Garg up, blade storm up, and that's it for you, bro. So against RMP you can see that in the first few seconds of the match we really just shut down their strats. Pop rogue out, they wanted me, I jumped off, so they went pally. I changed rogue and gripped him off, so their strats just kind of got messed up, and then we just TSG to priest down. Hard comp, hard comp. Alright, so we're going to end it on 2 PHDK matches. Now here you want to get on this hunter and stay on the hunter and make good switches to pally. You always want to keep track of freedom and when they're used, and if you catch them blowing a freedom on a hunter, and then you can grip pally in and switch to them hard. So we get started in here, and sometimes it's hard to get on when you fight a good PHDK, it'll be hard to get on that hunter, so you're going to have to switch around, and always make sure you're switching around together though. So we rush in, trade chains on DKs, and then we get on that hunter. And being as this close to this pally is also great because you just eat a fear and be forced to trinket instantly. So now what we're doing is just tracking that freedom. Blows freedom on hunter, and it's game time. So we grip this punk in, and we go right into a gnaw into a ghoul explode, and then we go, oh my god, damage everywhere. Holy fuck. So pally wets himself, bubbles, gets the hell out of there. So then we're back on the hunter while he's still low. DK is also pretty low just from peripheral damage from diseases, ghoul explode. So we're staying on this hunter to try to slow his damage, and we don't want to leave him alone to just pump shit into us. So pally fears my Garg, such an asshole. But so we don't like that. Aura Mastery's up, feared that shit, forced the trinket instantly. So we know this pally, he's out here right in the middle with next to no peels from his teammates, so we call the switch to him as well. So we get him out in the open right in the middle of the arena. This is absolutely perfect. So we both get on him, and then we know this is trouble for him. He's going to go down. So our pally is forced to bubble, but this guy doesn't have a prayer. So we just stay on him, and we end up getting the kill. So we just we force that freedom out, we grip him in and go hard, and again ghoul explodes amazing. So here's another PHDK, and this time we decide just to get gangster on that pally. So basically what you do is open with the chains on their DK, and then get on that pally. Gnaw into a ghoul explode is money, of course. So we get on him hard. Gets that mess up, I gnaw into a ghoul explode. Holy shit, what was that? So we forced the bubble pretty easily. The whole time Warrior was sword and board, so because the pally eats our pally early interrupts. So again, we're just staying together, switching targets, getting on this hunter. Get the bop up just to clear the MS to keep heals going. It's a smart move to pull that out every once in a while. And here we're gonna switch to that pally. Bubble's down, and that's what we were going for in that opener, was a bubble. So I haven't used Strangulate, I haven't used Gargoyle. Pet's gone, but he did his job. So what I do here is I just target the pally, summon my Gargoyle on him. So Garg's up, and it's time to make the switch on the pally for the kill. So we switch to him. Garg's on him. Strangulate that first heal. Blade Storm. Pump damage. And it's time for a dirt nap. So that's good stuff. Usually a good PhDK will be a real tough fight, but this one you want to blow shit early and do lots of damage. Look at that, 2-minute fight. That's a little bit of damage there.